Hello, Julia O'Shea here to share with you a simple Kaiut Yoga chair class. So if you haven't heard about Kaiut Yoga, this is a style of yoga that focuses on biomechanical health. So basically what that means is freeing up the body so that you can move with more ease. So this class is going to focus on 3 areas of the body, or what we refer to as the 3 girdles. So one area is the plantar or the ankle, the foot girdle. Another area is the pelvic girdle or the hips. And then the third area is the shoulders or the shoulder girdle. So all of these areas play key roles in the way our bodies interact with gravity, the ground, the forces, the weight of our body, sitting, standing, running, jumping, everything that we do in our lives. So these are kind of like pivotal areas of the body that affect everything else. So let's get started. So first off, we will be practicing in a chair. And if you can please have your shoes off. You can keep your socks on, that's fine. And find a comfortable seat. So sitting back in your chair, you can close your eyes, have your hands resting wherever it's comfortable. And we're going to just take a moment to open our practice, to connect to ourselves. So you may be practicing in a space where there are other noises or other things going on around you. So you can just acknowledge that, but start to bring your awareness into your body. Feel the feet touching the floor. Feel the body and the places that are in contact with the chair. And then feel the natural rhythm of your breath. Not changing the breath, but just noticing maybe the rise and fall of the breath. Maybe even hearing the sound of your own breath. And then if your mind is busy from whatever you've done today, or maybe what you have coming up, that's fine. You can just acknowledge the thoughts that you have. But working towards that space of calm in your thoughts. So maybe even the space in between your thoughts. So this is a practice where we use the body as a tool to connect more deeply to ourselves, to gain a better understanding, and as a way to be in the present moment. And then slowly opening your eyes if they were closed. And we will get started with our first pose. So sit forward if you can, a little bit on your chair. And depending on the rigidity in your hips, I will offer different variations for this first pose. So we are going to bring the legs together and have your feet underneath your knees, or maybe just a little bit further forward. And then we are going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. So for some people, if you have a lot of tightness in your hips, your knee might be up here. That's fine. One of the modifications you could do is you could sit back in your chair, especially if you're experiencing a lot of sensation. Definitely don't want to be feeling pain in these poses. So you can sit back. You could also, if your hips are super tight, you could grab some pillows or maybe a little bench if you have one, and you could cross your leg over like this. So we are targeting the hip. We are trying to have your thigh bone or your femur bone rotating inside your hip so that you feel this area. So trying to break down the restrictions. So wherever you are is fine. And then if you have the space, then you can start to drop forward, releasing the arms down, releasing maybe the head, the neck, and just allowing gravity to support you in this pose. And also feeling the breath. So the unique shape that changes the way we breathe. So feeling the back of the body, feeling the back of the lungs expanding. Good, and then slowly come back up and just pause. So never rushing to go to the other side, just slow movements, and then release the right leg down, and then cross the left ankle over. Use your pillows, use your little bench if you need the extra support. You can sit back. So customize the pose to work for you. And then you can also drop forward. So feeling the shape of the breath and the way it impacts the rib cage, the spine, maybe even all the way up to the back of the neck and the head. And slowly coming back up. And slowly release your leg down. Nice work. So now we are going to move into our feet and ankles. And this is one of those areas that, from what I've learned, can be one of the most important places that we do this kind of work. Because anytime we walk, if we are carrying tension, rigidity in our feet, the forces or the impact of gravity, that's our entry point. So it comes through the feet and then through the knees, hips, all the way up into the spine and even up to the neck. and the head. So the ankle work, I feel, is super important. And a lot of times when people start this, it's like, whoa, what is that? So you will stay facing forward, and I'll have you scoot a little bit to the right side of your chair, and ideally you don't have arms on your chair so that you can do this work. So we're gonna move the right leg out to the side, and I'm gonna turn in just a second and I'll demonstrate more details around what I'm doing with my foot. So the knee is bent and the right foot is going to slide back just slightly, and then you're gonna turn your toes in, place the top of the foot on the floor, and when you look down, your heel will be moving to the outside. So let me show you what that looks like. So toes turn in, heel out. And for some people, just the start of this, just the toe work would be step one. And you feel the rigidity, you feel the top of your feet, maybe tendons, ligaments, muscles, all of that. So you could start right there. Try to turn the toes in, and then if you have a lot more room, you could press a little bit more. So let me give you a better view of my foot like this. Again, your foot will probably not look like mine. It might, but I've been doing this work for quite some time. So I do have that space in my feet, but we all start somewhere. So again, you'll be facing forward with your foot tucked under. And if you can close your eyes. If you don't feel anything, you can apply just a little bit more pressure. It's kind of like this kicking action to maybe feel more around the ankle. There should be no knee pain. So if you have a knee history, then stay out of the sensations around your knee. We are bending the knee, but it is not a deep bend, and you certainly do not have to put any increased pressure on your knee. Good, and then slowly release and bring the leg forward. And then we'll move to the other side. So you can start with your legs together and then wrap the left leg around the chair. And if the knee is, you're just not very comfortable bending it that much, you can back off. You don't have to bend as deeply. Toes in, heels out. You can look down and see the shape of your foot. And I'm just going to turn to the side again so you can kind of see the side profile and what my foot is doing like this. Very powerful work. And what I've seen with my students sometimes is that the ankle work, releasing these maybe tension in areas that they weren't even aware of, can affect their whole body. So maybe their back pain starts to go away, or maybe their neck starts to feel better. It's really pretty amazing work. And if you don't feel much, you can increase pressure a little bit. Good, and then release the foot. Okay, so sitting again in your chair. If you can, sit upright. If it's uncomfortable or bothers you back, you can also sit back. So sitting in your chair, we are going to extend our arms out to the side with our palms facing down. So if there's weakness in your shoulders and arms, and this becomes, if it requires too much effort, you could just start like this and then bring your arms down and take a break. So arms out to the side and spread your fingers nice and wide like that. And feel the skin of your palms and how by spreading your fingers, you create more space in your hands and all those little joints. And there is just a little bit of chest opening here, but we're not forcing anything. So arms are moving out to the sides. And there is a little bit of effort here. So I'd like for you to see if you can literally extend your arms further. So there's an imaginary person on each arm, just lightly pulling your arms out to the side, creating space in the shoulders. Keep spreading the fingers. Good. And now we are going to bend the right elbow and bring the right arm in front of us, and then we're going to move it to the left. Good. Keep spreading those fingers. And then we're going to bend the left elbow and we're going to wrap it underneath the right. So if you have a lot of restriction in your shoulders and this is a struggle, then I would like for you to give yourself a hug, just like this. You can have opposite hand on opposite shoulder, and this is where you start. If it's okay and you have the mobility, you can press the backs of your hands together. And some of you might even be able to wrap your hands like this. This is one of those areas that I do have a lot of mobility. And my work actually is to hold the hands like this. It's going to take a lot more muscular effort, but you can certainly wrap if you'd like. And then lift the elbows. So starting to feel the effort kicking in. Maybe breathing starts to change. So again, we're opening up the back side here. Super powerful for the lungs. So our lungs have more surface area on the back. Good, and then slowly release one arm, release the other arm. Come back out to our arm extension, this time with our palms facing up. Same action with the hands, spread and stretch. Spread and stretch, extend the arms, make space in the shoulders. Beautiful. And then slowly bend the left elbow, bring it across in front, and then move it across. Bring the right arm underneath. Again, maybe you're here. We all need a good hug from ourselves every once in a while. Or maybe you're here. You can wrap and lift the elbows. Feel the skin on your back. Feel that connection to the shoulder joints. So when we make that space, the skin responds as well. Feel the expansiveness on the back side. Good, and then release one arm and then the other arm. This time, extend, spread, stretch. Make the space. Palms are facing forward now. And here you can feel the expansion in the front of the chest. Good. And now we will bend our elbows in this, I call the cactus arm position. If you have any shoulder issues, you could be lower. So Find the right position that does not create pain or too much stimulation. And if you have the space, you can start to bring your hands behind your head. The hands do not press the back of the head. They touch, but they are not pushing your head forward. So if that's happening, then you're going to be here. Hands behind the head, elbows move back. And we open the front of the chest and we feel just the natural shape of the breath in this pose. And you can close your eyes if you'd like. And then very slowly and carefully, we will just turn our head to the right, not forcing or pressing, just a slight turn, moving the neck. Good, and then bring your head back to center, and then slowly turn your head to the other side. And then bring your head back. And release your arms down. Sit back in your chair. Be comfortable. Feel the residual effects from the poses. And come back to the way we started. So that awareness in the body. You can close your eyes. Feel the natural rhythm of the breath. And just taking a moment to allow your body, your nervous system to absorb what just happened. You are welcome to stay like this. You can stop the video if you would like to continue to rest. I'm going to open my eyes, and then if you're closing your practice with me, you can place your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you all for taking the time to practice Kaiut Yoga with me. Thank you. Namaste.